Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Today I'm going to work on the Snow Speckled knit hat. This is going to be using two types of equipment. We're going to be using the circular knitting needles with the 16-inch here, and that's 4.5 millimeter, size US 7. And then when you get to the top of the hat, you're going to need your double points of 4.5 millimeter, a US 7 in that format. What we're going to do is that there's two different sizes, a medium and large, and like any typical Yarnspirations pattern, whenever there is a size difference in the new patterns over the last few years, they mark it with a color code. So this 80 would be the small size, 92 would be the larger size. So you have to decide what you want. Now this is asking for Red Heart Super Saver. I'm going to be using Patons Lincoln Fog today, give it more of a smoother, fresher kind of look to it. And this is something that is really neat. I am going to be casting on with my size, with my circulars of a 4.5 millimeter US 7. What we have here is that whenever there's information that is different, you can see size L only, large only, and this is what it will be doing to be able to give you that. So let's begin, and we're going to be starting immediately with the casting on process. I'm going to do a long tail cast on. Just like you're yawning, I held it in my hand and I did a big yawn with my arms wide, and I did that 3 times, and therefore this is the tail here. So let's begin to do a slip knot. And I'm going to do with the 2 needles at the same time to be able to get on my 90 stitches. So you're either going to do 80 stitches for the small size or 92 for the big one. I'm going to make 80 for the small size today. So just going to pull the yarn with the 2 needles intact. With these, I want to, and we have a tutorial available for this, I want to just push it down. So just move your fingers like this and come underneath and turn over to create a Y shape like this. Okay, so down, underneath, and grab. And I want to scoop these 2 needles at the same time underneath my palm to my thumb, and I want to wrap the other one around, and with my thumb flick up, and then pull snug. Don't pull it too tight. And I want to do that until the whole thing is up. So palm, up the thumb, wrap, and flick. This takes a bit of practice, and then after I get about 10 or so, or depending when I feel like it, I'm going to take out the 2nd needle only just to reset. And I'll show you that in a moment. So let me just do a few more. This will help make the starting a little bit easier to handle. I find the twist and transfer is really, really tight to the point where it's very, very frustrating. So once you get what you think is enough, you're just going to hold on to the project and only pull out 1 needle. Doesn't matter which one. You're then going to put the needle back in, and you'll put the needle towards the bottom like this. Okay, you can move these down and then reset again. Scoop and wrap and flick. And so you're going around the 2 needles until you're satisfied with that again. And as soon as you've got enough on there, you can go even further if you want down. And then you're just going to continue to do that until you either have 80 stitches or 92, depending on the size you want today. And we'll be moving on from that point. So please continue to cast on, get your counts, and I'll be right back. Now I've just finished casting on, and I have a total of 80 stitches. You could have 92, depending on which one you want. And now the long tail that I have left over, I just want to leave a little bit longer and then just trim it. Just throw out the remaining, or just save it, whatever. And you've been casting on in this process. So right where because I'm right-handed and I'm doing English traditional knitting, I have my yarn on the right. So in order to do that, I have to switch this whole thing upside down. Okay, so we can continue to knit in the round. Just move up your yarn to form a full circle and make sure you're able to follow it and it all looks like it makes sense. We're going to now begin and set up for round number 1. In round number 1, I want to put in a stitch marker first. This will allow me to know when I've gone all the way around in the circle. And I want to put the yarn in my hands and I want to knit the first 2. This is actually the second time videotaping this. I did a twist and transfer, and it was so tight I couldn't even move. So I'm going to knit the first 2, and then I'm going to purl the next 2. And you're going to alternate between the two all the way around. Okay, so knit 2, purl 2. And by the time you get to the end, the last 2 should be a purl 2, and I'll be back at the end of the round. So continue to do that process. Just in case you've never done anything like this before, what's happening is that you're knitting and you're pulling off one side and you're transferring it to the other. And because you're going in a complete round now, it's going down this one and pushing back around on the wire to come back around. Okay, so you have to get used to every now and then, which is pretty consistently, is that you push down on this one to push it along, and then you're using this hand to push the stitches up towards the peak. So it's a continuous circle around. Okay, I'll officially see you at the end of the round. So I'm coming back around. The last 2 stitches should be a purl, and that's not because I'm doing anything special. It's just, that is just how it works out. Okay, so you're gonna purl. And the reason why I'm showing you that is that the first part is a little loose, and that's normal. So what we want to do is we want to tighten it up once we jump over to start another round, especially after the first round is complete, like so. So I'm going to move my yarn back, and I'm going to transfer my stitch marker. So once that's over, you see this is a little loose, no big deal. So we're going to go, and you need to do the same information until it's about 1.5 inches. So the first 2 stitches will be a knit stitch. And when you go over, you want to pull tight. This is just to get ourselves started for this. So pull tight, and then do the next one. And it's the second one is the secret to pull that one tight too. And then we're going to use this tail end to kind of make it look nicer at the end. So if the first 2 is a knit stitch, the next 2 has to be a purl, and then you keep on circling around and around, and then you're using that stitch marker and you keep transferring it as you need to, and you need to get it and continue this same idea until it's 1.5 inches from the edge up like this. And I'm going to leave that for you, and I'll be back in a few moments, and we're going to talk about what to do from that point. So get to 1.5 inches first. When I last left you, we were just getting started, and now there's 1.5 inches done. So now I'm going to give instruction for those that are doing the large size if you did your 92, and then for everybody else, just hang on and then let me finish that instruction, and then we will continue to move on. For those in the large size only, you're now going to knit, so you're no longer going to do any purl work, but you're going to knit the next 44 in a row, and then you're going to knit 2 together. So let me just verify that you understand what 2 together means. So what this is that instead of just going into 1 stitch like this, you're going to grab 2 and sneak into both and then knit. Okay, so you go around, so then you capture the 2 and knit as normal. So you're going to start off by knitting the first 44, then knit 2 together, and then knit the next 44 and knit the 2 together. So our goal is to eliminate 2 stitches out in that particular size so that the repeat will work out for that size. So please do that now, and we're going to move on in the tutorial for everybody else, including those in the large size. So for both sizes, we are here, and now we're going to knit 1, 2, and the 3rd round using the color B, so we have to change our color so far. And then the 4th round is going to have with B, knit 4, and then with C, knit 1, and repeat. So the 4th round is going to be that little polka dotty thingy here that you have. So that's only going to be for 1 round, and then you're going to do 5 to 7 with the B again, with the main color. In my case, it'll be a wine kind of color. And then 8 then brings us back to doing these speckled at a different spot to make it look like it's randomly snowing, even though it's not random at all. So let's begin, and we have to change our color to get ready for the first round. Now you're going to grab your new yarn, and you're going to create a loop. Do not create any knots at all because you'll see it. And so when you just transfer the stitch marker over, and you're going to knit rounds 1, 2, and 3 with the new color only. So just loop it around and use that color only and knit. So you're no longer having to do the purl. Let the loose end fall to the interior. We'll be dealing with that. I don't hide in those ends until I'm at least 3 to 4 or 5 rounds later. So now you're just going to knit with the new color. So I want you just to go around and around, knitting, okay, the knit stitch with the new color. And every time you pass the stitch marker, just check it off on a list so that you can make sure that you're counting properly. So knit rows 1, 2, and 3 with this new color. So I've just come around on 3 rounds of this color. So I'm going to just take off the stitch marker just temporarily, just for a few moments. And what I want to do is I want to secure in. Do you see how it's loosening off here? You can do it at any time, including near the end of the project. You can, but I want to take that gray and I want to kind of just pull on it from behind and let it just kind of tighten onto itself to make it look like it belongs. So I'm just tightening it up a little bit. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to get a tapestry needle to be able to secure it. So I want to secure it to the inside of the hat because then you won't see it, of course. So I want to just carefully just tug on it a little bit, turn it over to the other side to make sure you're not misshaping it in any way. Is that I want to just come into some of the fibers that are on the back. I should not be able to see the needle through. So I see the needle, that means that it's going to show. So I want to just pick something else and see if it will look invisible on this side. So it's still going through. So you want to just continue to try and find one strand, even if it's a partial, just to kind of come in behind and pull through. And I want to tie itself into a knot. So before I get too carried away, I want to make sure that I turn it to the good side and I kind of look at it and make sure that when it ties down, it looks like it belongs. Okay, there it is. So I'm just going to tie it one more time around the same spot. And I'm kind of just tacking it into position. And then I don't want to see this at all. So I have to be very careful where it goes in. So what I'm going to do with myself is that I'm just going to trim it right there. I'm not going to do any more to it. Now the purple, we added to it as well, if you recall. So anytime you want to secure in these loose ends, you have to do this. So we're going to be doing the snow falling soon. So in the snow version, in this version of the purple, is that I want to attach it to something here so I can't see it on the other side. So I'm just kind of pulling it over and letting it tie itself into a knot again. If you have better ways, by all means, exercise that great judgment that you have. You can also get rid of your tail end at the beginning because you've been using stitch markers and therefore that has been secured. So we're now going to move on to round number 4 next, which is introducing the snow. So get your snow color ready. You only use the snow on this round and on round number 8. So we're currently on round number 7. So we want to continue to use the night color, the wine color. And the pattern states here is that with the bee, which is this color, we're going to knit the first 4. So let's place our stitch marker back in so I can tell when I go all the way back around. So the first 4 are going to be a knit with this color. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the snow is going to go in the next one. So like you did before, no knots at all, just loop. Okay, so just create a long loop. And you were going to just put it in for this round. So when you go to knit the next one, loop that color. And therefore that one's done. And let that fall towards the background. Then grab the other one again, and then you're going to knit the next 4. That's going to be your repeat pattern all the way around. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the next one is the snow again. So the snow, you're just going to take the yarn and just bring it over with you. So when you go to knit the next one, bring it over. It's floating it behind. This is how you do intarsia. So if you wanted to do snowflake patterns on hats, this is how you do it. And then you just use that color and let that hold in behind again. and then pick up your other color. So you're going to have a line on the inside of the hat that nobody sees, and then you'll knit the next 4, and then you'll put the white as the next one, and you'll do that all the way around. So please do round number 4 in this manner, and I'll talk about it when we get back around. So I come back around, and the last color is the white one. I'm not going to cut this yarn. I'm just going to let it hold out of the way, and I'm just going to use now for the next 3 rounds. So let me just finish this off. The next 3 rounds will be the wine color, or whatever color you decided to use. So just let this go out of the way, and I'm going to do the next 3 rounds as I do that, and then I'll show you the next round, which is the 8th, and then you can repeat over and over. So what I want to do is to make sure that when I'm doing this is that I'm going to secure in the first tail after I get about 3 rounds done. So when I come back, I'll have 3 of these rounds done, and then I'll show you how to secure the very first white one that we put in to make sure that it doesn't unravel onto itself. You'll notice all the yarns that you carried over, just ignore them, just let them stay in behind. Nobody will ever see it, and that's an awesome day today. So continue the rounds number 5, 6, and 7 with this color and continue along. So I've just now finished round number 7, and I want to take off the stitch marker, and I'm going to secure the very first time we ever used the white. And so you can see that this is the loose end right here. And what I'm going to do is put that through a tapestry needle to be able to hide this in. The trick is that when you do it, you got to do it firm, but not to the point where it's going to change the shaping of the stitch itself. So I'm just going to go into some stitch work in behind, and I'm going to turn it over to make sure I cannot see that needle, and I can see that needle. So if I drag that through there, that is going to take that white through to the other side. So I'm going to go around that piece here, and I'm just going to let it tie onto itself. Be firm about it. And it should be good to go. And once you confirm that you have that tied, then what you can do, just trim this. So now the first time the white goes through, it's now secured, so that will never come out. And now I'm ready for round number 8. Let's put the stitch marker back on, and let's do number 8. I'm going to show you an easy way to remember this one. We have to put the dots or the white spaces in between. So we're going to begin, and we're only going to knit 2 with the wine color, or whatever color that is your main color. So only knit 2. And I'm going to tell you an easier way to keep count. You're going to then grab the white that's still attached to this one. When you pull on it for the very first time, make sure that you pull so that it looks like it's the same because it's just been sitting loose. So you can pull, so there you go. And I'm going to use that one to knit with. If it doesn't look right here, then it will never look right in the future. So make sure it looks good. So now you let that hold. So the easiest way to count this is like you did before. You want to do a total of 4 of the main color. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so then the 5th one has to be the white. So you're going to pick it up, do your next one as the white, let it drop again, and then the next 4 are the wine color. So when you get all the way back around to the stitch marker, you're only going to have a few left over in the wine color, but not a full swing of the repeat, just like you had. So please do this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm coming back around, and I'm keeping in that sequence like I talked about. The last 2 stitches will be the wine color. Now, here's the thing. We need to start and do the repeat pattern over and over and over again, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So officially, round number 8 is done. Move your stitch marker and get ready, and now you have 2 layers of the snow falling. This reminds me of walking at nighttime on a sidewalk in the night sky, just with the snow lightly falling. But I live in snow country, so that's why. So let's take a look at the pattern and you're gonna do the rest on your own, and we'll get to the shaping of the crown after that. Here in the pattern, we're going to now do 1 through 8 over and over and over until it measures approximately 6 inches. You will need to finish either on a 3rd or 7th round at the 6-inch mark, and that's from the very base. Okay, so 6 inches from here up. Once you get that done, you're going to break the main color, and then for the color C, which is the snow color, you're going to do 1 more inch so that you approximately have 7 inches total. Okay, so you'll do that, and that's where I'm going to pick you up after that's done. So please do rounds 1 through 8, and then finish either on a 3rd or 7th, and then do 1 inch of the C color or whatever color that you choose, and then we'll be shaping the crown together with you on camera for the remaining of the tutorial. It's now Sunday night. I'm going to go watch TV and continue to knit, and I'll see you in the morning, and bye-bye now for now. So when I last left you last night, I was working on this, watching TV. So I got to 6 inches right here, which was the end of a 7th round. One day somebody's gonna ask me, what round did you finish on? It was the 7th. And then I added an extra inch of the secondary color that we've been using for the snow. So in the large size, what you're going to do is that you're going to knit 7 and then knit 2 together, and then 7 and then knit 2 together. And I want you to do that just for one time around, just if you're in the large size only. The medium size, which I'm working on here, we're going to pick up with both sizes in just a few seconds, and we're going to pick there. So if you're doing the large, please do this first, and then also then do the knit just 1 round, and then for all the other sizes, we're going to continue right here. So let's continue right here, first round. So we now need to use our double points in order to get smaller, because the cord is a certain length and it will not shrink. So what we're going to do is that we're going to introduce 4 of the needles. You need a total of 5, but you need 4, and we're going to create a square formation very much like this. So what I'm going to suggest to you is the formation of making the first one have 3 repeats, the second 2, the third one 3 repeats, and the last one's 2, and that should give you the number of 10, which is what we're looking for. So we're looking for 10 repeats, because you're going to notice that we're going to be decreasing by 10 stitches every time. So for both sizes, right here on the first round, we're going to be using this needle, and so as we come off, then what we want to do is that we just want to make sure that everything is going to work. So let's begin the first round. So the next step I'm going to do is that I'm going to put in a stitch marker, and right where they're sitting here, I haven't started anything yet. I'm just going to put a piece of yarn through that will just be sitting there and holding. So every time I see this coming around, I will know that I've done a full circle. So let's begin. As we are knitting, we're going to be just push this down, okay, and we're just going to be knitting off here onto the double points. So the first double point that I want you to do is that I want you to do 3 sets of what I'm about to show you. So we're going to knit the first 6. So knit 6 and then 2 together is the combination. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And therefore this here is going to be knit 2 together in the next 2. So put it in both and knit 2 together. So this is 1 set out of 3 that we need to do for this needle. So we're going to do it again. So knit the next 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and knit the next 2 together, and we're going to do it one more time on this needle. Okay, so let's do the next 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and put the next 2 together. So there's going to be technically 3 sets on needle number 1. push it to the middle point and just slide that off. Now we're going to introduce another needle, so grab another one, and this one I only want 2 sets on there. So knit 6 together and then 2 together, knit 6 together. I'm just going to show you how to jump over. So when you jump over, just put in the new one and wrap around the back one here. It's better if you put this needle behind first and just go around it, and you're going to knit with this. And when you do the first one, just tug on it with your finger to tighten it, and it's the second one that matters the most. So just go around that needle. And the second one is the last time that you're able to tighten things up. So keep things tight. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then put the next 2 together, and then do that one more set on this needle, and then jump over to the third needle, and then do 3 sets, and then jump over and do the last needle with 2 sets. And that will give you the number of 10 repeats all the way around. Please do that all the way around. I'll see you when we come back, and this needle will be completely gone by the end. So I'm now back around. So I have these 2 have more sets than these 2, but it doesn't matter because the count is going to be the same. So it says the 2 in alternative rounds are just a straight knit around. So number 2, so you're just going to just move this one back up. This one can stay where it is, and you're going to grab the 5th and fresh needle, and you're transferring these to the fresh needle to replace it. And as you go, you're just going to do a knit stitch all the way around, jump over how I showed you. So you got to make sure that when you jump, you pull the first one tight, and it's the second one that is the secret. You pull that one as well, and therefore everything should be good so that you should not see where you're jumping over. So in round number 2 and alternative rounds, we're just going to knit all the way around, and so you don't bother having to count. So do number 2 now. Okay, so I've now done number 2. I'm going to give you the verbal instructions for number 3 and 4. In number 3, you're going to knit the first 5 together and then 2 together. Knit 5 and then 2 together. In number 4, you're just going to do a straight knit around. So please do 3 and 4 now. So I've now just finished 3 and 4. So let me give you the verbal instructions for 5 and 6. So number 5, you're going to knit the 4 and then put 2 together, knit 4, put 2 together. You'll do that all the way around. And then in number 6, you'll just knit straighting all the way around. Please do this for rounds number 5 and 6. So I've now just finished number 6. So now 7, 8, 9, and 10, I'm just going to verbally tell you what it is, and then you can do that. So number 7, which is next, is that you're going to knit 3 and then put 2 together, knit 3 and put 2 together around. Number 8 is that you're going to knit 2 and then put 2 together, knit 2 and put 2 together. And then number 9 is that you're going to knit 1 and then put 2 together, knit 1 and put 2 together. And then finally on round number 10, you're going to just continue to knit 2 together all the way around, which will leave you to 10 stitches. And that's where I'm going to see you next to show you how to finish off at the very end and pull things together. And that's what you need to do. So this is 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I'm at the end of number 10. So I got a total of 10 stitches left. So I'm going to cut the yarn that is going to the yarn ball, and I'm going to cut it long enough so I can put it through a tapestry needle. And what I want to do is that I want to collect the remaining of the loops. Starting in the one here, I'm going to just go around in a clockwise motion and just start collecting the stitches. So just put your stitch marker into the stitch work itself. You can probably grab as many as you need at the same time. And so I'm going to pull the yarn through before I release it off the needle. So at least the yarn's going to hold it, and then I can remove that needle out. And then just kind of pull on it, but don't pull on it to the point where it starts to collapse the center. Okay, grab the next one and do this all the way around. I just keep collecting. And remove the needle. And I'll be back in just a moment. So once you're all the way around and you have all the needles out, you're just going to pull on that strand and it will close down the top. And what I like to do is just go diagonally across. Okay, so it comes out here, so I'm going to come over and then back over. And then I'm going to go in and then cross over in the other direction. And when I cross over, I'm going to open up this and put it in the inside. Do not stab yourself if you have a sharp one. And make sure that all the strand comes out. So whether you want to do a pom-pom is up to you. You can turn it inside out. And you want to secure this as up. So as I'm securing it, you just want to just kind of grab onto a few fibers. Don't go all the way through the project. And you're just going to tie it on. Okay. And now if you want to add a pom-pom or need help with that, we have tutorials available to you here on the channel. If you would like to do that, I'm going to do a prefab one. I like them better, but that's up to you. But you will have spare yarn so that you can make one for yourself as well. So there you go. And this is a really neat concept. I've been weaving in the ends as I've been going. And this here is an amazing hat. It almost looks store-bought unless I told you otherwise. So it's neat, and I'm going to add a pom-pom, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Till next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd. Bye-bye.